Hey cuties, Courtney here of Color Me Courtney. Welcome back to the channel. Today is an exciting video because I'm going to be answering all of your questions about my pregnancy. You sent these in via my Instagram, so if you don't follow me there, make sure you do. I feel like I owe you guys a lot of answers because I've been kind of sketchy about my pregnancy, which truly is my right. I don't have to share everything online, but I like sharing things with you guys. I trust you guys, but there have been some reasons why I've shared a lot less. When did you find out? It's actually a crazy story. I found out around Christmas when we were in Atlanta visiting Paris's family. His sister made this amazing meal, and then I was up puking all night to the point where I was like, she poisoned me. The next day, we had to immediately get on a flight to go to Disney to shoot my second collection. I was so sick, throwing up in between shots, so sick on the plane. Kind of after that, for a few days, I was like, oh, I know. But I didn't actually take a test until a few weeks later, or even tell Paris, because at the time it was very, very, very early on. So excited for you. How far along are you? Well, thank you. So by the time I actually announced to you guys and truly anyone, I was 6 months pregnant. I wanted to point out that a lot of the questions came in like this. They were really cautious of if I wanted to share, which was so sweet. I just think it speaks to how sweet you guys are as cuties. Anyways, I'm due in September, which is probably sooner than a lot of you thought. There are a lot of questions about how I was feeling, which is so nice. I really liked this one, that it was exclusively about how many times have I yacked. The truth is, it's been pretty rough. I've been pretty sick. I've thrown up pretty much every day of the pregnancy. If there's a day where I'm not throwing up, then the other day I'm throwing up 5 or 6 times. Early on, I felt like Bella from Twilight. I felt like I was just withering away, and there were actually a lot of questions online about what I was doing to lose weight. Some people made assumptions that I was on weight loss drugs. I wasn't. I was just pregnant, and I lost 35 pounds from being so sick, and I didn't really want to talk about it. I didn't want a lot of medical advice from everyone, just because I was already not feeling really great about it. So just kind of to protect myself. If that's you in your pregnancy, if you end up being as sick as I've been, I just want you to know you're not alone, and I'm sorry that I wasn't sharing it sooner, but I was just doing what I could to protect my mental health, because being that sick on top of hormones and everything else was already a lot for me. So I just was I kind of can't do this live on the internet. But now if you have more questions about it, I'm happy to discuss it now. I just kind of wanted to survive it a bit before I opened myself up to it. But truly, the whirling isn't that bad. I whirled at Disneyland, I've whirled on set, just kind of excuse myself, go to the bathroom and rally. In this last month, it's gotten worse to the point where I can't leave the house that much because I'm not always fast enough to make it to the bathroom in time. And I just don't want to be in a public place and ruin someone's experience with my whirling. That's also why I didn't end up going to D23, because I just didn't think that I could handle being at a convention center with a lot of people, waiting in line for the bathroom. Might have just not been a good idea for me. How did you hide your belly? Well, there's 2 things. I think the first, you guys have just learned not to comment on my body, which really is a testament to how amazing you are, because anytime anyone does comment, I usually call them out and just say my body's none of your business. And as a result, no one ever really makes comments about my body. The second thing is that I lost so much weight for being so sick. So obviously that kind of probably helped me quote unquote hide it. I wasn't really trying to hide it, but I wear a lot of poofy dresses, so that also kind of worked in my favor. But I did do straight up swimwear stuff. I'm just kind of chubby to begin with. So I guess a combo of those things is why no one really noticed, because I wasn't deliberately trying to hide it at all. And some wondered if I batched a bunch of content, and the answer to that is no, not at all. I was so sick, especially the first 3-4 months, that I couldn't even look at a screen. I couldn't really post that much. I was getting just nauseous doing really anything, that I wasn't batching content in any way, shape, or form. I was pretty much posting live or creating content 3 days before sharing it up until when I announced. I will say I did reuse a lot of old content on Color Me Magic because I was so sick, I could barely do anything on Color Me Courtney. So Color Me Magic as my second account, it kind of fell through the cracks. Sorry. These posts were also so sweet. I'm so sorry if you felt like I left you because I wasn't posting as much. Like, I really didn't mean to abandon you. I just was so sick, and I'm so sorry. Will you be sharing the gender? Yes. Does this mean we get a Color Me nursery? Yes, I'm really excited. I'm gonna reveal a few things, but one thing that's gonna be very, very present is giraffes, because giraffes are Paris's favorite animal. So there's gonna be a lot of giraffes in this baby's life. It's gonna be their signature animal, like it or not. I'm not gonna have a Disney themed nursery, but I did get to host a show for Disney Baby where they designed 5 different Disney themed nurseries. They're slowly rolling them out, so be sure to check that out on the Disney Baby account. This is another question I've got a lot of. People have been asking if I'm gonna make a separate account for Color Me Baby, which I think makes sense that they've been asking that since I have a separate account for Color Me Magic, which is all Disney and pop culture focused. It's hard work having 2 accounts. I don't know if I want to have a third, but I have gone back and forth. I do own the account Color Me Family, and I've owned it for years. I own a lot of Instagram accounts just in case I ever wanted them. I've snatched them up. If you want to follow the Color Me Family account, you're welcome to. I do have Color Me Spaces, which is supposed to be my home account. I never post on it because it's just too much to have Color Me Courtney, Color Me Magic, Color Me Spaces. As I actually roll out my Color Me Spaces series, I'm gonna test the waters with that again. I've been leaning more towards it because so many of you have been asking, but you tell me, what do you think? I think I will share a lot more if I have the Color Me Family account because I don't want to turn all of Color Me Courtney into like a baby account, but I wouldn't mind doing that on Color Me Family. But I will be sharing some baby content on Color Me Courtney. I just plan on it being like an additional part of my life that I share with you on Color Me Courtney. Questions about baby names. So I've had like an idea of what I want for baby names for years. I had 2 names that I love that Paris doesn't love, so I don't think I'll ever use them, so I'll happily share them with you. One of them is Sky. I just think it's so cute. And then the other one is Olive. I've loved that one since like I was 15, and it's been like a much more popular name now. I have some friends who have kids named that. Drew Barrymore's kid is named that. The really exciting thing about this name for this baby is that I had a name pick out for each gender, and I told Paris one of them, and then I went to tell him for the other gender, and he was like, actually, I have a name picked out for this gender. And the name he shared with me was the same name I had picked out, and it's a weird name. So the fact that we both came up with this name on our own, like I wasn't truly convinced that this was the name, but then once we both came out with it on our own, I was like, oh, this is the name. This is what we're doing. I've been trying to think of a middle name that's like very normal in case they just want to like live like a normal life and like be an accountant. And I've said a few times, like, do you think the kid will hate us for giving it this name? But hopefully not. Oh, I've also dropped so many hints and Easter eggs, and even actually have told you the name in some of my content. So that's all I'm gonna say. Sorry, my villain side is showing. But I could do a whole solo video on this, so let me know if you would like one, because I have so many nursery ideas that I'm not using and so many names that I'm not using. I've had a list probably since 2009 that I've been adding to. It's long, but it's good. Are you scared about any of the motherhood journey? Before I even got pregnant, I had 2 like major fears. Number 1 is that my feet would get so big or like go up in shoe sizes and I would never be able to wear any of my shoes. My feet haven't really swelled at all. I've already started where a lot of people end. And the second is my belly button. I pierced it when I was 16. I made a mistake. It was the 2000s. My piercing was like never right, and it's always like stressed me out. And like my plan is that like after I'm done having kids, I want to get my belly button fixed because it hurts and it like has all these issues. I don't want my belly button to pop out. Like I have a really deep belly button. We haven't popped yet, and I'm 8 months, but it's close. It's so close to popping. Like, I don't know, does it happen overnight? Is there a sound? Like, what happens when your belly button pops? I'm really stressed out about it. I know it's irrational, but I have more fears about that than labor or anything else. No question, but so excited to be pregnant at the same time. Me too. I think it's so fun that so many of you are pregnant with me, so we can be like on this same journey together. And there's also like so many celebrities who are pregnant. I feel like every star that I grew up watching is pregnant at the exact same time as me. And I just like imagine all of our kids like going to school together. Like how cute would that be? But because like of my two best friends, neither of them wanted to be pregnant at the same time as me, it's really fun that there's so many of you that are on the same journey as me. Wait, this is so sweet. There were so many of these just like really kind comments that I feel like you can't give to someone who has pregnancy hormones. Like pregnancy hormones are so annoying. Like I don't want to cry randomly. That's not me. That's not normally what I do. But thank you. This is so nice. Have you noticed S'mores acting differently towards you? So this is funny. Really early on, 5 weeks pregnant, S'mores knew. He was like obsessed with my stomach. He was like, there's something going on there, for maybe like 30 minutes one day, and then he was over it and he never cared about it again. Maybe just in like this past week, he's been so much nicer to me, kind of like cuddling me, which he doesn't do because he's just like a bad guy usually. He also knows the baby's coming and he's trying to like secure his spot as like my oldest son. Will you give birth in California or New York? So I'm giving birth in California. This was like a big debate between Paris and I, and we like went back and forth, but we just landed on doing it in California just because we have like more space here. But kind of soon after the baby's born, we'll be going back to New York, and then when it becomes winter in New York, we'll be coming back to California. That's like the tentative plan. We'll see how all that goes. Which leads us to these questions about if we're gonna have 2 nurseries and how we're gonna split our time. Until the baby's in school, we have a little bit more flexibility. Once we decide on what we want to do for a school perspective, we'll probably have to be like more settled down. And I don't know where that is. I don't know if I want to live in New York. I don't know if I want to live in New Jersey. I don't think I want to live in Palm Springs like full-time. Maybe another part of California. I just don't have like a strong draw to like anywhere specifically right now, but I'm very grateful to have options. What will be the baby's zodiac sign? Well, it's not gonna be a Leo. I always kind of thought I wanted a Leo child. I'm a Leo, and then I got S'mores, who's a Leo, and I was like, oh, maybe not. When I told Cherie I was pregnant, she was like, is it a Leo? Because she knew that's always what I wanted. And I was like, no, it's not a Leo. Thank God it's not a Leo. So can we assume from all the pink that it's a girl? I wouldn't make any assumptions when it comes to me, ever. You know I'm a villain, and I like to like steer you in one way and then go the other way, misdirect you. And you know, pink can be for boys, pink can be for girls. Pink actually, I think, originated as a boy's color, and then they switched them later on. Yeah, when it comes to me, I wouldn't make any assumptions. Or you could, doesn't bother me none. Please tell me the jackets were way to enough. Okay, yes. So sorry if you missed this video, but yeah, I designed these jackets, and that's kind of how I announced to my friends. There's some videos of it on my Instagram of me telling Cherie, me telling Melissa, me telling Keiko. I also made a jacket for Paris' sister, who's also my sister. I didn't do a video for that because it was just more of like a family moment. So yeah, I just thought that'd be a fun way to announce. And the jackets are from Daily Disco. I just answered this question about how I told my friends. How did I tell Paris? I just kind of straight up told him it wasn't anything. And he was like, yeah, I know, because you've been throwing up nonstop. Shout out to couples who like to be surprised. That's not me. Like, we've had a discussion about it. We've planned it together, and then we've like gone forth about it together. So there's never really these like big like romantic surprise moments, which is really like not my journey. I love that for so many people. Like, being surprised about a major life moment like that is kind of a nightmare for me. I told my mom by like, it was her birthday, and I had this huge like bag, and then like inside it was another bag and another bag and another bag and another bag, and then on the very inside was the like ultrasound photos. And when I told her, she was like, yay! And I was like, did you know? And she was like, yeah. She lives with us. Her and Paris were the only people who knew until I was 6 months. I told Paris's family about a week before you guys. Do you know what a wonderful role model you'll be for the baby? This is another one that's like so sweet. Actually kind of never really thought about it, but now that I've been pregnant, I've been thinking a lot about what my mom has done so well that has like shaped me. For instance, like, she never once asked me when I was having kids, and there's just been like a lot that I've looked back on, like that what she's done, and been like, oh, she did the right thing there. I want to make sure I echo that in my own way. But like, I'm really thankful that I had her as like a great parent, a great role model because I hope to be like half as good of a mom as she has been to me. How did you surprise your sister and her kids? So I think you mean Paris' sister, but she's my sister too. So we went to Arizona just for like a few days because everyone was in town. The last day, we all got together to take a photo. And I said to Judah, who is Paris's sister's son, so my nephew, she has 3 kids and he's the oldest and he's my godson and he's my favorite. I said to him, hey, like I have a secret, do you want to tell everyone? And so I said, okay, as we take a photo, when they say 1, 2, 3, yell, Aunt Courtney's having a baby. And so he did, like in the middle of the photo. So we have it on video. Are you gonna have baby match Color Me family? Yes, of course. Like Paris and I love to match clothes. The baby's gonna match us until it's old enough to protest. And hopefully they'll still wanna match us. We won't make it mandatory. Hopefully they'll wanna match us forever. Even my mom matches us sometimes when we go out and she's like not even about this life. Why would you not wanna match? It's so fun. I did not realize there would be so much demand for a Color Me baby line. I've been working on it. I am like solo. I don't have a manager or anything like that. I'm operating completely on my own, but I'm also new to the baby space. So what I've been doing is I've been shopping a bunch of brands to kind of identify like who I really like, and then kind of reaching out and engaging in conversations with them. My goal is to have some kind of baby line, and we could just kind of add more color to the baby space because it's really bland. But I don't know if it's gonna happen because I'm not gonna just partner with anyone who offers me a line. It's going to have to be something I really love and believe in, and it's going to take me some time to figure out what that is. Please be patient. I hope I can have a baby line or a kids line or something like that someday. It just might take a little bit of time. Also, designing a collection like usually takes a year. So if I want something by next year, I kind of have to get it figured out within like the next 6 months. I chose this question because they said something about twins, and I just wanted to tell you this story. So when I was at Disney World, there's this little girl, Rory, who I follow online, who's really cute, and she came up to me and she goes, "Are you having a baby?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Is it twins?" And I said, "No, it's not twins." And she said, "You never know." And I said, "No, I know it's not twins." And she just said, "You never know," and walked away. I was so convinced then that I was secretly having twins, even though I had had like 3 ultrasounds at this point. So the next time I went to the doctor, I was like, "Hey, it's not twins, right?" "You never know" has become like part of our lore between like Paris and I, and we just like say it all the time, like to each other. You never know. So I did get a few questions about like maternity clothes, and I haven't bought any. I've been just wearing like Empire dresses, baby doll dresses. I've been taking my Fit and Flare dresses and moving them up above my bump. I don't know. I didn't want to buy stuff that like wouldn't fit me in a few months. Like I like to keep my clothes forever, but I have been shopping at Pink Blush because they have maternity and non-maternity stuff. Do you plan on breastfeeding? Yeah, that's the plan. There's like a lot of like discord about like breastfeeding. My plan is to try, but also when I was 16, I had a tumor the size of a lemon in one of my breasts that was removed. And I remember at the time they were like, "Do you want to breastfeed?" And I was like, "I'm 16 and I don't know." I guess we'll find out, TBD. If I do breastfeed, I'll probably share that I am. I guess I reserve the right to change my mind about that too. What's been your favorite part of pregnancy so far? It's been so fun connecting with other moms or like soon-to-be moms and just like hearing everyone's stories. Being kicked is not necessarily fun, but it is like a weird feeling. It's been kind of cool in a creepy way. I haven't had a migraine all year. I'm like a migraine sufferer once every week to 2 weeks usually. For whatever reason, the baby has cured my migraines, so that's been really fun. And then the other thing is I've had like some weird allergies. Like Paris is allergic to watermelon. I'm not. I love watermelon. Right now, every time I eat watermelon, I sneeze. I've also really liked asking my mom like questions about her pregnancy. Like we pulled out the baby book that she made while she was pregnant with me, and like it's been really, really fun. Really giving me a lot of empathy for anyone who is maybe trying to get pregnant or becoming a mom and doesn't have their mom around. How has the chronic pain been? I mean, it's been like I've been pain all the time. I just get used to it. A lot of times people, when they get pregnant, they have to get off of like their fibromyalgia medication. I don't have any medication, haven't had to make that adjustment. I just use like natural methods like cold showers and things like that to kind of reset my nerves. It's truly not as bad as I thought it would be. I thought it would be a lot worse. Tips for hiding the bump until you're ready to share the news. Oh, and this question's fun because they're asking if I was pregnant at Liz and Derek's wedding where I wore this like poofy dress. That's the answer. Poofy dresses, I think. And shut down comments about your body before you even plan on getting pregnant. A lot of these kind of questions about weddings, no, this hasn't changed any of our plans. Everything is still on track for now. We'll see after the baby comes if I still want to proceed with like the plans we have for next year. I am really glad that we had our baby shower because that did kind of change some of the plans. What are you most excited about being a mom? You're not gonna like this answer. It's like not a politically correct answer. Halloween and holidays. There's so much fun stuff about childhood that you like get to celebrate that I still celebrate as an adult, but like most adults don't. Like obviously there's like other things, like more personal things, but so excited for Halloween. Are you going to take the tiny human to Disneyland? Yeah, that's the plan. We'll see if they like it and enjoy it. If they don't, Paris and I can go without them. I do have plans to take the baby to Oogie Boogie like in October. I bought tickets, but we'll see how I feel after they're here if I actually want to pursue that. Is there anything you don't want us to ask? No, you're welcome to ask me anything. If I don't want to answer it, I just won't answer it. But thank you so much. That's so nice of you to like ask about my boundaries, but I promise I'm really good at setting my own boundaries. To me, I think the meanest thing sometimes you can do is not respond. Someone right before I announced my pregnancy said like, if you get pregnant and announce that you're pregnant, I'm unfollowing immediately. And I started to like write back because I was like hormonal and pissed. And then I was like, I'm just not gonna respond to you because forgetting that you exist after you wrote this really rude comment is the meanest thing I could do. How old are you in Paris? We're 34 and 35 trying right now. Oh, congratulations. It's so funny how like pregnancy affects age so differently. I have people who have been like, oh, you're like kind of old for having a baby because they live in like towns where everyone has babies at like 20, but then like in New York, like I feel like I'm 16 and pregnant because like there, no one has babies until they're like 40s. The really cute thing is that Paris and I, because we met and like got together so young, will be together 20 years the month that the baby is born. So I love that as like a full circle moment for us. This wasn't a question, but I thought that this was really sweet, so I just wanted to share it in case anyone else is on the same journey. They said to give yourself grace and that kids don't really remember your mistakes, they remember your love. It's just really nice that someone decided to write this in. Baby moon question. So people were asking us if we were gonna go on a baby moon. We did. We went to Positano, Italy. I did a whole video on it if you want to see. I did get to eat a decent amount, though I've had extreme aversions during this pregnancy. Aversions to anything sweet, aversions to meat. I love meat usually. During this pregnancy, not so much. If I can get over eating it and not be grossed out by it, immediately whirl. Because of that, I've had to like find protein in other ways, which has been really challenging. I have to eat like Greek yogurt every day, which I hate yogurt. It's disgusting. Because of that, I was a little scared about going to Italy, but the food is so much better there that I was able to eat a lot more. I was able to eat meat in some situations, which was really exciting. So that was probably one of my favorite things that I ate during the baby moon. I also was able to eat some of their sweets. I was able to eat gelato, but then as soon as we came back to the US, food aversions. Did the baby go on the Eras tour? Yes, it did, and I actually felt like I looked really pregnant in those videos. Flying internationally when you are as pregnant as I was a little bit hard. I think Paris was really freaked out about it. He made me keep getting up and doing like laps around the plane and stretching, which was really embarrassing. There's so many questions about push presents, which I thought was really interesting. I don't really like getting presents. Presents make me uncomfortable unless they're like weird, like tiny things. Like the other day, Paris brought me this like tiny hot sauce, and now I've just kept it in my makeup bag because I love it so much. Like things like that I love as presents, but I don't need like real presents. Shout out to anyone who does ask for a present. Like I feel like you're entitled to do so. It's just not really my journey. If I want something, I just buy it for myself. I don't want these questions about cravings because I feel so shocked and betrayed because there were two things I feel like I was promised during pregnancy that I have not had. One, to be glowing. I'm not glowing. I just put on more highlighter to make you think that I'm glowing because I'm not. I even asked Paris, I was like, oh, am I glowing? And he was like, no, but you have highlighter on your nose. Number 2 is I thought I would be having weird cravings. Like I wanted to crave stuff I never eat. I wanted to be sending Paris out at 3 a.m. to get me crazy items, but I have no cravings. There have been a few times where I feel like I've started to crave something, but I can't figure out what it is because I have like brain fog. And so I'm like, what is that? What is that? And by the time I like start to even think about what it is, it's gone. And then I have no craving. So I feel so truly shocked and betrayed and robbed of this experience. And I'm really angry about it. Thank you so much. I think you're lying. I think it's highlighter, but thank you. Are you excited or nervous? You know, I don't really get like excited or nervous. I just try to get prepared, which I don't feel like I am. But I don't know, I've been saying this is something that a lot of people do. I will take it seriously, but I'm also not going to put too much pressure on myself. I think I'll do a good job. I know I'll do my best. I have a lot of help. I'm not doing it alone. I have Paris, I have my mom, I have a lot of resources. So, you know, I'm gonna do the best I can. Worrying means you suffer twice, so why would I ever do that? Can you reveal the Easter eggs? Yes, let me try to remember all of them. I might have to insert some of these in post. Right before, a few days before I announced, I did an Instagram story where I like said like, oh, this news is overdue. I also like leaned into my villain energy and I really tried to make you think that it was a second Tiana line that I was launching. So I used a lot of like Tiana clues. So everyone thought I was designing a second Tiana line, which like would have been really cool, but I've already done that. And like, we don't look back, darling. It distracts from the now. Deliberately was misdirecting a little bit because I'm evil. In one of the captions, I used capital letters to literally spell out due September. So even like until this video, which is the first time I'm sharing when I'm actually due in September, like that's an Easter egg that it's just been lingering out there. And a few people got it actually. I know there's more. Let me insert them all here. I've been cooking up something big and I'm overdue with sharing the secret with you. So I hope you have a positive response when I make a big splash and tell you everything on Saturday. We're almost there and I can't wait to see what you think. How many children do I want? Well, I mean, this is kind of a difficult question. Paris is one of 5. I was one of 2 and now I'm one of 1. Growing up, my mom always said 2 hands, 2 kids. So I always kind of wanted to have 2. But now that I am one of 1, I kind of have like stronger feelings about maybe there being 3, kind of just for that morbid reason so that no one is left. That's kind of how I feel now, but we'll see how I feel after I have this one. Even though I've had a rough pregnancy, like I have a lot of other friends who have been like, oh yeah, my pregnancy was so rough that I would never do it again. I don't feel that way. I'd be okay and open to doing it again, even though this has been really rough, but it's nothing I wouldn't do again. Is this the first grandchild? For my mom, like it's just me, yes, it's the first grandchild. For Paris, because he's one of 5, no, it's like the 8th. Will you consolidate your homes and move closer to your family? Well, the fun thing is that my mom actually lives with us, so that's really great. And then Paris's family is spread out all around, so it's not really kind of like an option. A lot of questions about how pregnancy has been for me emotionally, which is very kind. I feel like that's a whole other video. It's been more emotional than I thought it would be. I will save that for its own video. And then this one, are there any value-based decisions that have shifted? Yeah, so that also we'll get into in the other video. Yes. Please share the video of you finding out. Okay, I didn't feel like it was like that special, but yeah, let me share it for you right here. I don't know why I'm shocked I knew it. Ew. So annoying. Why am I shocked I knew? I could tell. So that was a lot of questions, but they were really fun to answer. Thank you so much for asking them. If you have more, you can leave them in the comments below and I will try to get to them in the next video. Also, let me know if you want a video about baby names I didn't use, a video about nursery ideas, or baby shower ideas I didn't use, because I have all of those. There are a few more videos that will come out here on the channel. The video of my actual nursery reveal and putting all of that together, I'm going to share that with you. And then my plan is after that, finally get into revealing the Color Me spaces. If you don't know, I bought this house in Palm Springs. I've been designing each room with a really cool theme. Really wanted to be able to roll it all out consistently, so that's why it's just taken a little bit of time, because sometimes renovations happen, sometimes thefts happen, and all of that will be revealed in the Color Me Spaces series that will come out shortly. I think September, right around when I bring this baby, I will also reveal my other baby here on YouTube. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thanks for answering questions. Thanks for following along and being a part of this journey. If you're up for subscribing or liking this video, I'd really appreciate it. And I will see you guys at the next time. The next time. I will see you guys soon. I love you. Goodbye.